Images of Deadpool and Godzilla appear side by side. Deadpool versus Godzilla. Can he regenerate fast enough? Flashes on the screen. Hey there, fellow nerds and pop culture enthusiasts. Have you ever thought, what would happen if Deadpool took on Godzilla? Today we're diving deep into that wild hypothetical. We're talking about the merc with a mouth facing off against the king of monsters. Can Deadpool's regeneration keep up with Godzilla's sheer destructive power? Let's find out. So, let's set the stage here. On one side, we've got Deadpool, Wade Wilson, a guy who can take a licking and keep on ticking. On the other, we've got Godzilla, a giant, nuclear-powered lizard who's been destroying cities since the 1950s. It's the ultimate clash of comic book immortality versus kaiju-sized chaos. But the big question is, if these two ever faced off, could Deadpool actually survive? Would his healing factor be enough when he's up against atomic breath and a whole lot of stomping? Today, we're going to break it all down, compare their abilities, and speculate on this epic showdown. Ready? Let's go. Alright, let's talk about our pal Wade Wilson. Before he became Deadpool, he was a mercenary with a mouth. Diagnosed with terminal cancer, he underwent a shady experimental treatment in the Weapon X program. The result? A supercharged healing factor that stops his cancer cells from killing him. So how good is this healing factor? It's pretty insane. Let's look at some of the most extreme examples. Decapitation? He's had his head cut off and just popped it back on like it's no big deal. Dismemberment? Arms and legs grow back like starfish limbs. Surviving explosions? Blown to bits? He'll pull himself back together. But here's the thing. While his regeneration is top-notch, it's not without limits. He needs energy to regenerate, and the more severe the injury, the longer it takes. Plus, his healing factor is tied to his cancer cells, keeping his body in a constant state of flux. It's complicated. Now, on to the big guy, Godzilla. T-Rex originating from Japanese cinema in 1954, Godzilla was born from nuclear radiation, serving as a metaphor for the dangers of nuclear weapons. He's the embodiment of nature's revenge. Godzilla's abilities. Atomic breath, a concentrated beam of radioactive energy capable of leveling entire city blocks. Super strength, to lift and toss other giant monsters and destroy buildings. Durability, nearly impervious to conventional weapons. Throughout his cinematic history, Godzilla has destroyed cities, battled other kaiju, taken them all on, and often comes out on top. He's survived being buried under ice to withstanding black holes, the epitome of resilience. Weaknesses? They're few and far between. Imagine this. It's a bustling day in Tokyo. The streets are alive with people, neon signs are flashing. Suddenly, the ground shakes. From the bay, Godzilla emerges, water cascading off his massive form. Chaos ensues. Enter Deadpool. Seeing the giant lizard, Wade's eyes light up. Well, aren't you a big boy, he'd quip. Deadpool's potential strategies. Use his trademark humor and non-stop chatter to confuse or irritate Godzilla. Unleash every weapon in his arsenal. Climbing Godzilla. Attempt to scale the giant beast to find a weak spot, perhaps the eyes or inside the mouth. Unconventional tactics. Knowing Deadpool, he might try something utterly bizarre, like offering Godzilla a taco. Godzilla's likely responses. At first, he might not notice Deadpool, given their size difference. Swatting at him. If he becomes aware of Wade. Atomic breath. If sufficiently provoked, unleashing his most powerful weapon isn't off the table. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Can Deadpool actually withstand what Godzilla dishes out? Atomic breath. If Wade gets hit directly, the intense heat and radiation could vaporize him completely. Regenerating from vaporization? That's pushing it. Physical attacks. Stomping and swatting would pulverize Deadpool. Gross, but he's bounced back from similar situations. While he can heal, severe injuries take longer. Radiation exposure. Deadpool's healing factor might protect him from radiation poisoning. Impact on healing factor. Deadpool's healing factor could have unpredictable effects. Continuous damage. If Godzilla keeps attacking relentlessly, Deadpool's regenerative abilities might not keep up. He needs time to heal. So, what could happen? Outcome 1. Deadpool can't regenerate fast enough. Godzilla's atomic breath vaporizes Wade completely. His healing factor can't kick in. Game over. at least until the writers find a way to bring him back. Outcome 2. Deadpool survives but can't win. He regenerates from Godzilla's attacks but can't do any real damage in return. Outcome 3. Deadpool outsmarts Godzilla. Wade uses his wits to exploit a weakness. Perhaps he contacts other heroes. Outcome 4. Stalemate. Neither can take out the other definitively. They eventually go their separate ways. Outcome 5. Breaking the fourth wall. Deadpool might just rewrite the scenario. Cheating? Maybe. Entertaining? Absolutely. Now, let's consider what fans might argue. Arguments for Deadpool's survival. Extreme regeneration feats in certain storylines. His healing factor has no limits. Unpredictability. His chaotic nature might give him an edge. Arguments against Deadpool's survival. Scale of destruction. Godzilla's sheer magnitude could be too much. Cultural impact. This hypothetical battle is about appreciating the character's extremes. Fans love to discuss these scenarios. So, after all that, can Deadpool regenerate fast enough to survive Godzilla? The answer is maybe. It depends on which comic book feats you're looking at and how generous you're feeling about his healing factor. Surviving isn't the same as winning. Ultimately, it's a fun hypothetical that pits the unkillable against the unstoppable. It showcases why we love these characters. Deadpool's irreverent humor and tenacity, and Godzilla's awe-inspiring power. What do I think? I'd pay good money to watch that movie. Thanks for joining me on this wild ride. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments, do you think Deadpool could take on Godzilla and live to tell the tale? Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Until next time, keep dreaming big, debating fiercely, and embracing your inner nerd. Stay awesome, everyone. Comic panels and movie clips of both characters set to epic music.